Hello everyone, thought we would try to make another video for you. This time I want to do a project that's a little bit more involved. Last time we did the duck. It was basic carving. This time I'm going to do something from the same book, How to Carve Wood by Richard Bütz. I think that's how you pronounce that. Could be wrong. Anyway, he's got a project in here. He's got a guy that's carrying a canoe, stepping over a log, and I think that would be kind of fun to do. He's got the plans here like he did on the duck, scaled down. So that's the project we're going to work on. And I've started a little bit already without you. I've gone through and taken the patterns, traced them out onto wood, and done some of the bandsaw work. This is the canoe just roughed out, and then I just drew the opening on the top. And then I did the one for the guy. Got a side view on there and the front view. I just cut out the rough shape here, and then we'll do the rest of the work with the knife and other tools. One little trick I'd like to show you though, that I do anyway. I photocopy the pattern out of the book, and I cut it out, and if you can see on there on the top of his head, just made a mark with a pencil, did the same down on his foot, and then made a mark on the wood to match that. It just helps me keep everything lined up. I just trace around it. And did the same thing for the front view. Then there's a couple other pieces. Obviously he's missing a leg here. If you look in the image and in the plans, it shows he's got that leg coming out, stepping on that log. So that's done in a separate piece and then glued on. Same with his arms. And it tells you in there that the arm should be made out of a 3/8 inch thick wood. So I just set that up on, took this 2-inch piece, I believe it is, and set up a little stop on my bandsaw and sliced off a 3/8 inch thick piece. And I put the pattern on there so that the grain is kind of doesn't run perfectly straight with either the upper or the lower part of his arm. So we got two of those, and then we have the one for the leg that's going to be attached, and that was supposed to be out of a 5/8 piece. Did the same with that one. Just set up a stop on my bandsaw and sliced off a piece 5/8 thick. So that's getting you all caught up, I think, where we're at. I did make this little background since the last video. I was having trouble with the glare from the overhead lights on the desk, and some of the pieces just weren't showing up. So I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to set these pieces aside here and just get to work on the canoe. We'll just kind of round it, and keeping in mind, as I mentioned before, just paying attention to the details. You know, the canoe's kind of rounded here, and then it takes a steeper angle to come up. We'll round that all out smooth. It's I'll do all the outside work with my rough out knife, my Helvey rough out knife, and then we'll get rid of some of the parts in the center here. I'll probably use a knife just to get started, and then switch over to a gouge, and I don't have a very full set of gouges, just some palm gouges. So it might take a little while, but that's the plan. That's kind of the setup for this project. The only other things I guess I didn't mention is there are a couple of oars we'll have to make. It tells us the dimensions of the wood to use, and then there's also a carrying yoke that goes across the center of the canoe to rest on his shoulders. So you can see it in there. But that's what we're going to be up to. This is going to take quite a bit of time. It's way longer than one video. We'll just break it out. We'll just get to work on it and see where we end up. Well, I don't know how many videos it'll take to complete the project, but here we go. So let's just get started. But also, just a quick mention of this. Unlike the Santa video that I did, where I had the one that I recorded, I actually was the 30th one that I'd made. And the duck, I've made those in the past. This is something I've never made before, so we're just going to kind of figure it out as we go. But we'll just start rounding some edges. We're going to be a little bit more cautious as we get up to the point, because there's not going to be as much to remove. But out here in the middle, we'll round that corner pretty decent. This end, actually, I got it cut to a pretty sharp point. We're probably not going to leave it that way. It's just like any project, we'll want to make sure we get all of our saw marks off. Here we get some of that off there, just to wanted to do something that was a little bit more involved. I don't know. You see some videos people put on. They say they're beginner videos or whatever, and I don't know what the rules are. What makes something a beginner video or an intermediate video? But to me, this project, there's quite a few steps to it. There's several pieces. We got to join pieces. So it's probably a little more advanced. However, we're using it. We're using that book, and the instructions are in there. The patterns are in there. We don't really have to come up with any of this on our own. So I'm hoping. I say this now, right? But I'm hoping it's not going to be that difficult to get it pieced together. Just one thing I'm thinking of here is we want to get the outside shape of this done, which there shouldn't be a lot to do that. We got the pattern, and we cut it out pretty close on the bandsaw. So it's just kind of rounding corners, shaping things, making it look like a canoe or a guide boat. I think it calls it a guide boat in the book. I don't know, whatever it is. Looks like a canoe to me. Somebody would probably tell me that I'm way wrong. That's alright. I was wrong one other time in my life, and it was when I thought I made a mistake. Turns out I was wrong. Anyway, if you believe that. I'm just getting all the saw marks off here. We don't want any hard edges. No hard edges on a canoe. Hard corners, sharp corners, I could say. Flip it around. That's getting pretty close on that already. As far as the curve there, there's a little bit of a flat, not really flat spot, but a transition here I want to smooth out. Take a little. I got some saw marks in the middle yet. Not taking off a whole lot here. I might do a little time lapse, fast forward through some of this. It's get you the information and the ideas of the project, but don't have to sit through every knife cut if you want to. And just looking and feeling, eyeing down there. A nice rounded edge there. Still ends up looking a little flat on the bottom here. On the center part, the bottom is flat on the canoe. Then it starts rounding and tapering to the points, kind of like I've done. So I kind of liking where that is for now. We'll adjust it and smooth it and look at it. Would you look at that? Get some more saw marks off here, just taking thin shaving cuts. We'll see how this project goes, and maybe we'll come up with an original idea similar to this. One thing I had been thinking is that project that I did for my daughter, where it was a scene out of the Winnie the Pooh book. And put it in a nice case. I'm kind of thinking that's what I'd like to work on next. Not necessarily something out of a book, but just come up with some sort of a whimsical little story or scene. Put something together, multiple pieces, and make a nice display. It's kind of what I'm thinking, but that changes all the time too. Hey, well, as far as this top edge, before, one thing I'm noticing is when I drew the lines here, I think I might have got too thin on the sides. I'll probably end up redrawing that and bringing it in. Because I still have a sharp edge here, I want to round over, make it nice and smooth, and then I think I need to make that a little thicker on the side. But for now, we'll just kind of take that sharp edge off. I don't know, when I think about doing that, well, we gotta watch the green here and come from the other direction. But get a hard edge. First thing I do is I just kind of start attacking the angles. I guess I go right on the sharp corner and maybe take like a 45 little slice off of there. And then instead of having one sharp corner, you have two. And then just go after each one of them and do the same thing, and just kind of keep doing that, and it will eventually round over. Like that. See, I'm just taking real thin corners, cutting the corners off. We just got through Christmas and everybody had a good time and are enjoying their gifts. And last summer when we were camping, my family and I, we were sitting around and we're all kind of getting into carving. I had made a carving kit for my two youngest kids, and last summer my wife was kind of sitting around with us and doing some carving too, and she asked for a carving kit as well. So I made another one and gave that to her for Christmas. And she's already got one project she's completed. It's a little travel trailer camper. It's probably 3 inches long, something like that. Kind of neat. But it's I'm kind of turning this carving into a family deal, which is really nice. Just sitting out in the campground, sitting around a fire, or just enjoying the day, and everybody's got a piece of wood in their hand and a knife, and it's a great way to spend a weekend. The side is being a little bit more difficult. The grain wants to grab, or the knife wants to grab the grain, I should say. Just got to be careful, take our time, go a little slower in case it does start to break out. We can stop and do what we have to do. Okay, now get over to this side and do a little rounding. Keeping in mind that we had a little trouble on this side with the grain, so we're going to be careful. We hear that bell ringing in the background. It's our dog. She's creeping up on 15 years old. But from a tiny little puppy, we trained her to, she's got to ring the bell when she wants to go outside. That's been great in the last 14 and a half years, but lately her eyesight's failing and her ears are failing, and she tends to ring the bell a lot. And I don't know, sometimes I don't even know if she knows what she wants. But she was just outside before I started recording this video, so you might even hear her ring the bell again. Nobody else is home right now at the moment, so she wants somebody to sit by her all the time, seems like. That's probably why she's ringing the bell this time. Come sit by me. Here we'll trying to bring this in a little bit. The angle on the front of a canoe, kind of on the side in the middle, just round it over, and then as it comes to one end, it leans, and it's more of a longer angle. I'm trying to accomplish that here. And since we've already done the other side, or we've been working on the other side, kind of keep going back and forth. Try to make it symmetrical. Kind of a longer piece. I like doing, I do a lot of pairing cuts like this, and then I push with my other thumb. And on this one, it gets to be too much to get a hold of, so it's a little bit different. It's looking pretty good. Rid of those saw cuts, saw marks on the edge here. Bring it out a little bit more here. I figured out how to do a little adjusting on this camera finally. As I said in previous videos, it's not really the ideal camera for this. But it's meant to be. It's bought it for using it for hunting, and it's not really meant for close-up work like this. Looking pretty good. I like it anyway. That end. Probably round this just a little bit more. Okay, now that the furnace is shut off, I can talk again. As I was saying, people talk about how heavy knives, which are great knives, I really love them. I got this rough out knife and a detail knife, and I've ordered a couple other detail knives also, but I've heard people say they're really hard to get, and that depends on how you look at it. I guess they're not difficult to get. It just takes a while. Gotta be patient. They are, there's basically two people running their business, and they have other things going on, and they make a really good quality product, and yeah, you just gotta put your order in and then wait. It's not hard. I mean, it's hard to wait sometimes, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not difficult to get. It just takes a while, and they're worth it. And also, the other side of that too is, I have some Drake. My palm gouges are Drake palm gouges, which I really like. I've got a Drake knife, which is nice. But, they're also way behind. It seems like everybody's buying carving knives, which is good. But just kind of how it is. You gotta be patient and get your order in. This top is going to end up being the top. I think we want to round it just a little bit, bring the edges down. Green, gotta come this way. Well, let's take a look. Looking at the profile of it as I roll it around, pretty happy with that side. There's a little bit of maybe a smoothing out here would be nice. I'll flip it over, kind of do the same thing on this side. Well, there's more work to do here. There's, I don't know how well it shows up, but right in here I haven't removed the saw marks, and it's still pretty flat from here to here, so I'll round that over, clean it up. take a little more off here. We can make it more round. The dog's moaning back in the background there. She's not happy because we should be sitting in the recliner. That's what she thinks. Okay, getting there. I think this end is pretty good. Just trying to keep things symmetrical as I can. Trying to get rid of the edges, corners. I think real close on the outside. Got a lot of wood to remove inside though. That's going to take a while. Got to kind of smooth the spot out here. I tore it a little bit too much. Oh, go this way. Might use a detail knife right there. Just it's a little better at getting some thinner shavings. So I don't want to remove a lot of wood. I just want to kind of clean up where I had a tear out. Cassie is not happy. I need to go sit in the chair. Pretty sure she'll survive though. Right in here. Just taking those real thin layers off. It's kind of a, sometimes when you grab the grain and you tear out a chunk, especially if you're close to what you want, you gotta be careful kind of smoothing that over. There's, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of a little spot right there, but I think we're okay with it. Give it another look over here. I think as far as the outside of it, pretty happy with how it is. I'm sure before we're all done with it, I'll be looking at it and flipping it around and just kind of looking at it from all different angles and make little slices here and there. The more you look at it and the more you mess around with it, the happier you'll be with it, I think. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Now, how do we do this? I don't know. I think what I want to do is come in here and draw this a little bit thicker. Something like this, maybe. Just using my finger as a guide. Keep my finger setting the same there. And we'll go along this side. Oh, Cassie's ringing the bell again. That's her give me attention bell. Okay, I think to get started we're just gonna do a little cut around there. Not going real deep, just trying to get it marked out. Making sure my knife is straight into the wood at this point. Meet up with, we haven't done that side yet. There we go. Have our cut in. I think we'll go with the detail knife. It's a little easier to control here. Just go around, just trying to find a place to start. As I mentioned before, the first time tackling a project, or this project, that's part of the fun. I mean, when I did the Santas, I can't say that I was getting tired of making them, but after, I think I ended up making like 34 of them or something like that. You do that back to back, and you get things figured out, you get in a rhythm, you can just roll right through them. But I kind of enjoy something like this where I haven't done it, figuring it out as I go. And you know, I think Doug Linker talked about it once. It really, you mess it up, it's just a piece of wood. You may have a lot of time into it, but that's just part of it, figuring it out. Just don't be afraid to do it. But what I was getting at is, because this is not 30, number 30, taking my time. It's a large area to hollow out. Once I get the edges defined here, we'll just keep making cuts as far down in as we can get with the knife, and then I'll start using a gouge. If I had some bigger gouges, probably just start with them right away. Be faster. Just trying to make sure I have control over what I'm doing here. There we go. Almost all the way around already. To me, the point of it isn't how much you can get done or how fast you can do it. Just enjoying the process. And when you're all done, having something that's nice, pretty rewarding. Cassie agrees. Actually, she just wants to go sit in the chair. There we go. I almost started following my old line there. I should have cut that off. Okay, yeah, we're all the way around. I have that defined. I'll just start removing some wood. I think this is going to take a while with this little gouge, but we'll see. I'll mess with it this way for a while. This is just my Drake palm gouge. It's a number 8. I think it's 3/8 is the width. Very comfortable gouges to use. They really have that handle figured out. At least, I'm sure it's different for different people, but I really like how they fit in my hand. And we'll turn around. That'd be a good fire starter. we don't want to do that with it. Not yet. We'll see if we can. Okay, guys, I just wanted to break in here, and we're gonna run the rest of the video, or at least the majority of it here, with a time lapse. Just the video's getting kind of long, and it's not much to see here, just a lot of repetition. Okay, guys, just wanted to wrap up this video. I finished taking the material out of the middle of the canoe here off camera because it was kind of hard to do and to get down in underneath the tops here, and that would have been really difficult to try to get that on camera, at least doing it. So end up with a little knot right there. It's kind of neat. Well, I'm not sure what happened there at the end, guys. I think my SD card got full. So let's go ahead and end the video here. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the rest in this series. Thanks.